Howdy, folks. I'm Brian.
I'm Amber.
And here's some Reddit. Our first letter is titled, Am I a Jerk for Demanding That My Son Take His Daughter on His Family Trip to Disneyland? I got pregnant with my son Jules, 28, about a month after my 18th birthday. I tried my best for him, and he got into a good engineering school, but at 19, he then got his then girlfriend, Isa, pregnant, and they had Annabelle together. I've been the one who has mostly raised her. Isa got deported, but they spent July together and FaceTime every night. Julius got married to his girlfriend, Kaja, after graduation, and they had two wonderful boys together. Annabelle lives with me and not with them. The thing is, Julius never spends any time with Annabella. He doesn't even call to say goodnight, but she loves him very much. It's like once a month, he'll show up with a box full of toys, spends the day with her, and then goes back to his family. It hurts her so much that he doesn't spend time with her because he is her hero. I'm just her grandma. And no, he doesn't act this way because of his wife. Katja would love to have Annabelle move in with them. She once brought up the idea, and she went on about how all the things they could do together. She would love to be her stepmom, call her princess, sweetie, and so many nice nicknames. The only reason they haven't is because Julius has said that she would stay with me. A few days ago, Julius told me that he and Katja were planning a trip to Disneyland in August. I told him that Annabelle would be so excited and that he should tell her on her birthday, and he just blankly told me that she's not coming and the trip is for his boys. I made it clear to him that he needed to bring her on that trip, and he just called me a jerk, which he's never done before. I'm trying to control him. I admit that I was just a bit controlling in my reaction, but I don't think I went too far. Alright, folks, what do you think? Jerk or not the jerk?
Not a jerk.
OP, I don't think you're the jerk in this situation. You're a concerned grandmother who sees that he's clearly treating his children differently. I think he needs to go into some kind of therapy because this seems really problematic, and he may be harboring resentment or some kind of bad feelings about the previous relationship if he's really paying this little attention to her. And this is going to really harm her in the long run if she doesn't get the attention that she needs from her father. And I think this is just a truly tragic situation. And hopefully he can grow up and actually be the father that she needs. So that's just my thoughts. Anyhow, take care and good luck. So he just pawned his child off on you for eternity? Does he send you child support? Does he make any actual effort to be a father to his daughter? Not the jerk. Those are great questions. I'm wondering if he does. If not, he's worse than all we already think. Yeah, I mean, the child support idea too. Like, if she's also footing the bill for the kid, poor kid. So he just pawned his child off on you for eternity. Does he send you child support? And OP says yes. Does he make any actual effort to be a father to his daughter? And OP says, not since Isa got deported. That's too bad. That's sad. Not the jerk, this man has abandoned his daughter. I wouldn't be surprised if he only brings the toys because his wife makes him. That said, I wouldn't recommend forcing the trip. His resentment will definitely spill over onto her, and she won't have a great time. Yeah, that's unfortunately probably a true statement. Our next letter is titled, Am I a jerk for ditching my wife at the mall because she was taking too long? I'm a 34-year-old man, and my wife is 29, and we've been married for 5 years. Since we started dating, she has always taken her sweet time doing everything. Getting dressed, doing her makeup, eating, whatever it is, she takes forever. I'm generally a patient person, but I get extremely anxious when I'm late for something with a scheduled starting time. Alone, I have never been late for anything. With her in tow, I am late for everything. The most frustrating thing about this is that she seems to have no ability to comprehend that she's making people wait. If I even suggest that she move a little faster, she gets really defensive. A few years ago, one of her best friends dumped her because she was tired of having her chronic lateness. Last night, we were out to see a movie. Getting to the mall before the movie started was a battle in itself, but miraculously, with the prospect of doing some shopping before it, she was able to gather her necessary belongings and get there with time to spare. She started shopping while I more or less followed her, until it was about time to get to the theater. When I told her this, she was talking to a sales clerk about clothes that she wanted to buy, and she told me to hang on for a second. As usual, hang on meant that I have absolutely no concern about your needs because I'm doing my own things right now, and anything other than what I want to do is out of the question. Sounds like this group of people needs marriage counseling. Seriously. I waited around for a couple more minutes until she started taking jeans off the shelves to try on new combinations. The previews had already started. I told her again, and she said that we can just skip the previews. At this point, I just walked away, which she naturally didn't notice. I turned my phone off and I enjoyed the movie myself. As a side note, I missed the first few minutes of it waiting for her, standing in line, and making my way to the theater. On my way out of the theater, I saw her on the bench in the lobby by herself because I ditched her. I honestly didn't feel bad at all and told her that I would do it again. This made her even more upset, and we finally had an awkward, quiet drive home. Apparently, she was actually looking forward to the movie too. Was I the jerk in this situation? I felt it was supposed to be tough love, but she seems really hurt. Alright, folks, what do you think? Jerk or not the jerk?
Everyone sucks a little bit, but the wife more.
Yeah, I think everyone is kind of a little bit culpable in this situation. I don't necessarily agree that OP is without blame here. This was like, yeah, she has issues and she really needs to respect other people's time, but also abandoning her and ditching her is also a hard thing to do. It's really hard to, know what is the right thing. I think more than anything, this couple needs to sit down and talk about these things and work out some way to help her deal with her chronic lateness. This doesn't sound like she has a normal sense of perception of time, and that can be really challenging and frustrating. If for some reason she's like neurodivergent, and this is part of like her behavior patterns because of being neurodivergent, then she may be able to work with a therapist in helping to work on strategies for coping with these things. She may not be even aware that OP feels like she doesn't respect his time. Instead, she may just lose track of time and not feel like she's doing anything wrong here. So I do think that OP was really in a tough spot, and I don't know what the right action for OP was, but I certainly don't think that abandoning her and watching the movie without her was necessarily the right call either. So I don't know. Let me know what you folks think. Anyhow, take care and good luck. And that's actually a good point that Amber just brought up, is that he could have even just texted her before turning his phone off and said, "Hey, I'm in the theater in blah 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 seat arrangement. If you want to join me, you can." And then she would have been able to do that if she had wanted to. So, I don't know. It's difficult. Not the jerk, this is what you have to do moving forward. Tell her that you're leaving in 15 minutes and follow through. One warning and then go. Stop discussing and explaining, start showing. Though in the future, send a text. I'm at the movie and I'm sitting center right, turning off phone now. And I mean, I do agree that sending a message ahead of time is a good call. This is exactly what my parents did with my older sister when I was little and she got old enough to drive. The family is leaving at 6. We'd love it if you could make it. People are constantly late like this, have zero respect for anyone else. Edited ad, not the jerk, and sometimes this is just how you have to manage to be on time. 2 things living with a chronically late person. Not the jerk, I was initially sympathetic for your wife as someone who is chronically late. However, when you described that her response to you informing her that the previews are starting was to go on and try more jeans, I lost all sympathy. That's not chronic lateness, that's chronic disrespect for other people's time. Alright, folks, it is tea time! Grab your cups of tea. Today, I have real tea and not imaginary tea.
And new mugs.
And new mugs. So, the story behind my old mug. So, I was using my Star Trek mug that was given to me by my grandmother, but unfortunately, one day when I was cleaning it, the handle cracked a little bit. I heard it crack, and I'm like, I can't really use this anymore if the handle is at risk of falling off. So now that, like my red mug, has been relegated to ornamental status. So now I think about, and I was using a mug that Amber's grandmother gave to me for a little while, and I might use that one too, but I've got this nice blue mug here. Where do cows go on vacation? New York. You can can see the stink face I made about that one, too. No, that's terrible. Book, what are you doing, Book? Oh my goodness. Oh, and you can see I did Wordle in 4.
I did it in 3.
Amber did it in 3. Oh, and before I forget, I have licorice spiced tea. Alright, our next letter is titled, Am I a jerk for expecting my husband's truck to be a shared resource? Throwaway account. I'm a 31-year-old female, and I've been with my husband, a 31-year-old male, for 10 years. We've lived together for most of that time, and we have a child and dog together. This particular issue started months ago when he bought a new truck. The night before he had to pick it up, 1-hour drive, I asked him to take the dog out to go to the bathroom. He refused, saying the dog is mine and therefore my responsibility, not his. Technically, the dog is an emotional support animal for me, and when we got her, we agreed that I would do the majority of the care for her. This has held true and was the first time in over 2 weeks I asked him to do any caretaking for her. I told him that if he couldn't do something as simple as take a dog out to potty for me, that I wouldn't be spending my day driving him up to get his truck. The next morning, he asked me to drive him, and I told him no, reminding him of the argument the night before. He ended up Ubering there, which cost $100. A few weeks ago, I asked for his help picking up my mattress, as my vehicle is a small car. He refused unless I could contribute $70 a month towards his truck payment. His reasoning was that A, since I'm benefiting from the truck, I should be helping to pay for it, and B, I didn't drive him to pick up the truck, so he doesn't want to help me. We had a pretty big fight about this, and I argued that as his wife, I should have access to his resources, obviously within reason, without having to contribute to that specific resource financially. I eventually apologized for not taking him to pick up the truck, and he agreed that he would help me with things like this in the future. A few days later, he helped me deliver a desk. I was sitting about 5 minutes away. After the fact, he asked for half of the money that I had earned from selling the desk. I refused because, again, I feel like his truck is a shared resource and he's my husband, not a contracted delivery driver. He seemed annoyed by this, but I didn't push it. Today, I asked for his help picking up a pull-out couch for our guest room. He said no. When I asked him why, he said, because I don't like to help you. He then further explained, you won't pay for part of a truck payment and you won't give me some of the money from your desk, so I really don't want you to use my truck to help you. I just said okay and walked away. I'm really confused and unsure here. I mean, obviously I feel like it's fair that he would use his truck to help me every once in a while, just like I use my resources to help him when I can. To me, this is part of being in a committed relationship with someone and how our relationship has operated up to this ongoing issue with the truck. But am I the jerk for not paying part of the truck payment? For context, we had planned to pay for the whole payment himself until he, quote, and I quote, realized that I would benefit from it so much, and that seemed unfair to him. All right, folks, what do you think about this one?
Y'all need marriage counseling.
Yeah, that's exactly my thought. Marriage counseling for sure. You are escalating. Then this isn't just you. You and your husband are escalating, and you continue to escalate and continue to be tit for tat. It was first, oh, he needs to take my dog out. Then it's, oh, well, you didn't take my dog, so I'm not going to drive you. And then it's, building up more and more and more. There needs to be an end to this escalation. It doesn't sound like you're a married couple. It sounds like you're a couple of friends who are fighting and, not being on the same side of things.
Not even good friends.
Not even good friends. Frenemies more than anything, right? So, I think that you're both jerks because you're acting like jerks here, and you two need to work through your problems in a mature way and not in this tit for tat type of thing. Well, you didn't help me, so I'm not helping you, blah, blah, blah. And it just never goes well. And you need to nip this in the bud now before it becomes a marriage-wrecking problem, because that's where this is heading. Eventually this is going to end up with you two not wanting to help each other at all, and that's not a marriage. That's not a marriage at all. So anyhow, take care and good luck. Y'all need marriage counseling. Do they even like each other? It doesn't seem like it. They don't even like each other, and their sobbing faces. You sound like two strangers who randomly got married when they were blackout drunk and haven't found time to divorce each other yet. I'd watch that sitcom. Yeah, I mean, that is what it sounds like. Alright folks, that's all the time we have for today. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, consider giving me a like, and if you didn't, consider giving me a dislike. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you all tomorrow.
Bye.